A bombshell report from Reuters claiming that Cybertruck deliveries are, quote, hostage to battery production hell. That is their phrase, not ours. 9 anonymous sources told Reuters that Tesla has not been able to, quote, crack dry coating at the industrial scale needed to make 4,680 batteries fast enough to hit their production targets. Now, we reached out to Tesla for comment, but have not received a response. And of course, why would we? Because they don't have a PR department. So there's literally, I don't even know who emailed. Anyway, under these circumstances, Reuters says Tesla would only be able to power roughly 24,000 Cybertrucks a year. And if true, it would lead to missed production targets. So should investors take this report as a warning or just another swing at a company? Let's be honest. Some people just love to hate on. Let's talk.
Interesting moment there on CNBC, admitting that Tesla is a company that some people just love to hate on. And if I recall correctly, it was this very anchor, Brian, who posted on X after CNBC spread some fake news about Tesla, got it wrong, that, well, maybe if Tesla had a PR department, they could tell us when we get shit wrong. Don't want to be too hard on the media NPCs here, but whose job is it to get things right? The network telling their audience things about Tesla that they should be fact-checking and verifying? Or is it Tesla's job to, after CNBC has said something that's false about Tesla, go, hey, you morons got that wrong? Important question. Here's the post I refer to. If I say something wrong or misleading about, say, Ford or GM, who cumulatively spend 9+ figures per year advertising on CNBC, if I recall, I get a polite but firm call from their PR teams to discuss and or correct it, which is the right thing to do. Tesla doesn't have a PR department or even single person, so it's easy for bad information to float around. Seems easy to fix? No. And I totally understand Brian's argument here. Well, wouldn't it be helpful if Tesla could tell us when we've said shit that was false and wrong? But what would probably be preferable is just not getting stuff wrong. However, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade here, especially some of the money managers whose heads firmly planted up their rear end, who genuinely think that if Tesla did have a proactive PR team, that it would make a fucking difference, but it's not going to. The fake news of the media has it in for Elon Musk and Tesla. They're threatened by his purchase of X, rightfully so. Legacy automotive companies have it in for Tesla. In fact, huge portions of huge industries have it in for Elon and or Tesla. This is what happens when you create companies that cause hundreds of billions of dollars worth of disruption, upend entire industries. We're talking launch, automotive, transportation, you name it. Let me explain to you folks how absurd the idea that Tesla having a PR department would solve all the BS being spread about the company. Are you ready? Why doesn't Donald Trump have a PR department? Donald Trump should just get a PR team and then the media would stop saying that Orange Man bad. Seems an easy fix, no? Just hire a PR team, Orange Man bad. Do you understand that the hate stream media thrives on controversy and drama? Elon Musk is a lightning rod for attention, controversy, drama. The media wants attention because that's how they generate advertising revenue. They don't want the truth. They want attention. Tesla and Elon Musk both draw orders of magnitude more attention than any other names or companies. Facts, which means the media has an incentive to spread outrageous, dramatic, scary news and articles about Tesla constantly because it gets eyeballs. Tesla having a PR department will not change this fact. Again, well, why doesn't Orange Man Bad just get a PR department? Idiots. The fake news loves Trump. They love to hate Trump. Why? It gets attention. You really think that Donald Trump hiring a PR firm is going to stop networks saying an Orange Man bad, threat to democracy, insurrection, blah, 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 blah? Of course not. It's stunning that this is even being suggested.
Talk about it with former Ford CEO and CNBC contributor Mark Fields. Mark, good to have you back on. What's your take on this Reuters report, other than manufacturing is hard?
Yeah, well, manufacturing is hard. And to your point, listen, I think anytime you're introducing a new technology, you're going to go through teething pains. You're seeing it, for example, with GM and trying to scale their Ultium batteries. They're having lots of problems. That's why they haven't had a lot of production. So in Tesla's case, they're actually implementing obviously some new technologies here. As you said, it's a dry technology versus a wet. And, I think Musk, during his launch of the Cybertruck, which are going to use these batteries, what they call these 4680 batteries, he said, hey, listen, we're not going to be fully ramped until mid-2025. So I think he's kind of set.
This is fair, although Musk didn't use the year 2025. He did say something on the order of 18 months, so you do the math, bang on. This will be a combination of the cells and the Cybertruck production line. But that's a pretty boring story to regurgitate what Musk has already said. Well, he did tell us it's probably going to take 18 months to ramp up to that 250,000 per year. Instead, makes for a juicy headline in Reuters to discuss battery production hell. If it bleeds, it leads. Production hell, battery production hell certainly sounds more exciting than Tesla will continue to ramp up production of the 4680 cells on the Cybertruck over the next 18 months, as Elon Musk already pointed out.
Some expectations. But I think, Brian, the more important thing is for them to make their 250,000 unit capacity production run at rate in 2025. It's like a 10x increase in their battery production today. That's very, very aggressive. But, they got time to do it. We'll see if they're able to. But at the end of the day, every automaker is going to be struggling with these issues. We've seen other automakers struggling with them.
But is CNBS going to be running pieces on every other automaker struggling, ramping up their own EV production? What are the odds? Any ideas? Do you think we'll hear the same kind of stories? In fact, have we been hearing the same kind of stories about GM's Ultium battery production hell, which is an absolute catastrophe? No. Why? Because no one gives a fuck about GM. GM is not an attention-generating lightning rod. But Tesla sure is. Elon is. And remember, Elon equals Tesla and Tesla equals Elon, because apparently that's how it is.
And, Tesla at the end of the day is a technology and battery company. So when they get through this, they'll be in a pretty good competitive position. But right now, it's tough scaling new technology. Yeah. It's tough going from the lab to production.
Toyota just had a 1 million car recall due to airbag issues. It got, you could find articles, but it didn't get a lot of attention.
What's going on here? This is true, but it's kind of, did he not get the memo that you're not allowed to point out the hypocrisy of your own network on your own network on air? Yeah, no one gave a flying fuck about Toyota's actual physical recall. Barely gets a passing mention if you're lucky, yet Tesla recalls every vehicle ever produced since the dawn of time in the United States with an over-the-air update. Is Brian really pointing out the hypocrisy of the finance media right on a live segment on CM? Is he going to get fired? I mean, this is dangerous, Brian. Careful. Of course, if only Tesla had a PR firm to correct the record after everybody said recall of every vehicle ever produced since the dawn of time, it's the end of the world, dangerous, dangerous. Oh, wait. It was already clear at the time of this supposed recall that it was an over-the-air update, and the details of the over-the-air update were also made clear at the time. So all the networks and outlets running Tesla recalls billions of cars and possibly not mentioning, or at least burying the idea that it was an over-the-air update and the actual details of which were laughably insignificant, just around driver monitoring. If I didn't know any better, I might suggest that every one of these outlets thought, oh, this is going to bring some attention. Tesla bad, recall bad, Elon bad. Let's run this relentlessly because it's going to get a lot of clicks and generate advertising revenue. Who cares about the reality? We just want clicks. This is a strange interaction. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. But again, obviously, if Tesla had a PR team, then none of the media would have run these articles, would they? Of course not.
Right. Relative to everything that happens with Tesla, gets a ton of attention. And you obviously know, Mark, that it's probably because of the founder, Elon Musk. Do you feel like Tesla does get an outsized amount of interest given its relative size and weight in the U.S. and global car markets?
Well, of course they do, right? Just look at the numbers, right? Their production versus, the Toyotas or the VWs. I mean, they're producing 10, 11 million cars a year, and Tesla's, producing less than 2 million. But listen, this is a company that, talk about a key man risk. This is a company that's all about Elon Musk, and he has used very deftly, whether it's his pulpit that he has, whether it's X or his tweets or, his larger than life personality in the media, which he promotes. Tesla and him are a lightning rod for any kind of news. And when you lay on top of it, their valuation and the fact that, a good portion of their shareholders are retails versus institutions, you mix that cocktail together, and anytime Elon Musk sneezes, he's going to make news.
Mark's spitting some facts here. By the way, it wasn't always the case. A handful of years ago, barely a peep about Tesla. Then, suddenly, the shorts became increasingly louder and louder. Company's going bankrupt, no demand, competition's coming. The more successful Tesla has become, the more they've scaled, the more they've grown, the more attention the company has garnered. And along with Tesla, also Elon Musk. And you can't blame the fake news. They got to pay the bills, and the way they pay the bills is by getting eyeballs, and the way they get eyeballs is by doing, saying, sharing, whatever's going to get eyeballs. It is a little pathetic and embarrassing, but it's understandable. Just like it's understandable that content creators might clickbait their audience by misleading with titles such as confronting XYZ person when there's no aggressive intent at all in the conversation. It's just a very amicable discussion about something. But confronting XYZ sounds a lot more enticing for a viewer to click than having a conversation with XYZ, doesn't it? I personally wouldn't stoop to that level, but hey, you do you. I understand the incentives. So you have to understand the media. Mark Fields was right. Tesla is a lightning rod. Elon is a lightning rod. It was a great comment right at the end there. Every time Elon sneezes, it'll make news. He ain't wrong. Just like every time Orange Man Bad blinks, it makes news. And as I mentioned, if Tesla had a PR team, it wouldn't make a fucking difference. If Elon and Tesla are still going to get clicks, and if negativity gets 10 times as much attention as positivity, well, you put the two and two together, you're going to see a lot of negativity about Elon and Tesla. Ain't going to change anytime soon. And what do you know? Right as I'm recording this, another clip posted from the very man in question, Brian of CNBS, about none other than Elon Musk and Tesla, who apparently is so worth talking about that Brian's sharing short clips of discussions about the very man and subject on X. Let's see what Dan Ives has to say.
People love to hate on Tesla because I think they love to hate on Elon Musk. And
extremely accurate.
I'll let people decide whatever they want out there, okay? Is Elon Musk hurt the company or help the company at this point? Because people don't realize.
So, can we be real here? Tesla is one of the fastest growing, most profitable, untouchable, technologically advanced, extremely desirable to work at companies on Earth. Tesla has probably spent cumulatively in their lifetime as a company less money on advertising than you have simping on OnlyFans. By the way, if any of you idiots are paying money for OnlyFans, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Yet the company has sold, give or take, let's call it 5+ million vehicles to date, built some of the world's most incredible technology, has an unassailable lead, a stunning real-world AI project called FSD, is being talked about 24/7 and then some, in the media, on social media, everywhere. Talk to anyone who works at Tesla, especially some of the lead engineers. Could you have done this without Elon Musk's leadership? Answer no. The only people who would argue that Elon Musk has harmed/hurt Tesla rather than helped, on average, are people who live in an extremely left-leaning bubble in which cutting off children's genitals is progressive, having sexualized drag queens perform children's story time readings is appropriate for toddlers, in which sterilizing children is okay, in which free speech is a threat to democracy, and where anyone having opinion that doesn't align with the one true narrative is obviously extremely harmful to humans and Earth and, of course, any company they're related to. It's inarguable the positive impact and effect Musk has had on Tesla. And I will argue the point that I actually think, in the fullness of time, Elon Musk's willingness to stand up to bullies, to call out corruption, to punch back, to purchase X to allow people to freely share their thoughts, opinions and ideas, to expose the government corruption, the collusion between old social media companies and the US government in particular, to raise questions, to share his thoughts, opinions freely, is actually going to be a net positive for Tesla. Because for every one extremely butthurt, emotional infant who needs to virtue signal to their small group of friends who all think and believe the same things, Elon bad, Elon bad, Elon bad, I'm selling my Tesla, I'm going to get a Rivian, Elon bad. I think there'll be at least one, if not more, people who don't particularly care what other people think about them, who support freedom and are big fans of democracy, who'll think, you know what, I thought Elon was a bit of a dick. Who cares about electric cars? But man, this guy's an absolute G. I'm going to have to support this company just based on my principles because this guy's standing up against BS. Now, I don't have the data yet to back this up. It's just a hypothesis. But remember, it's always negativity that gets the 10 times attention. So for every one vapid virtue signaling drone who says Elon bad, how many people quietly now supporting the guy and his companies and his endeavors are you not hearing from? Because it doesn't garner the same level of attention. I've started to notice a lot on social media, on X, on YouTube, people starting to comment who previously were not fans of Tesla or were opposed to the idea of electric vehicles since Musk's acquisition of Twitter and his willingness to push back against woke companies, pandering to activist employees and outside activist organizations. I'm starting to notice some people saying, you know what? I fucking love this guy. What an absolute G. And I'm not just talking about random people in the comments, but large content creators as well. From MMA fighters and world champions to folks like Patrick Bet-David, who himself, for the record, drives an internal combustion engine pickup truck and loves it, and everyone in between. A lot of people who previously had no interest in Tesla, didn't have an opinion or even had a negative opinion of Musk, through his very willingness to stand up to bullies and speak his mind, are now becoming massive fans and supporters. But you don't hear from them, it doesn't get attention. Instead, you just see the temper tantrums and the virtue signaling from people who are telling us that Elon bad. Now, again, I don't have the data, so I can't show, okay, for every one lunatic who's desperate to signal to everybody that Elon bad because that's the current thing, there's at least one person who goes, you know what, this guy's a fucking legend. What a G. I don't know the ratios there, but we're not even hearing this conversation. Just because somebody's very loud does not mean they represent the majority.
Musk is not running Tesla. There is a management staff that's very quiet. They're not on Twitter. They just go about their job every day. But he's the face of it.
He's the golden
He created it. But there's a whole team actually running the company.
There's a team that runs it, but he is the hearts and lungs of Tesla. And that's from a brand perspective, as we've talked about, I still believe right now that's a contained issue relative to what's happening in Tesla. The irony is this quarter, we see a record quarter in China.
So Dan does have a point. Tesla, the company, continues to crush record after record after record. Wouldn't particularly call it ironic, though. In fact, I'd just call it to be expected, as I mentioned. Just because a human vagina is screaming from the rooftops, aka on social media, that Elon bad because Elon had an opinion or fought back against a bully, doesn't mean that everyone else on Earth thinks and feels the same way. I think a lot of people have made the mistake of assuming that the few loud crybabies represent the average opinion of the average consumer and the average investor in the marketplace. They do not.
We're not actually seeing demand.
Even against BYD.
Even against BYD.
Which is the Chinese car company that's taken over China. I mean, and probably soon to come here.
Soon to come here. But in China, they've held their own. And I think this is going to be actually a record quarter from a China perspective. I think we look out, we go into this next year, margins increase. They gain share, and now full self-driving, I'd argue the AI piece could be $75 per share, and I think that's what we're going to be talking about 1-2 years from now.
I definitely agree that a couple of years from now, most, except maybe the likes of Tony Sacconaghi, when they talk about Tesla, really will be talking about AI, software, recurring revenue, average revenue per user, AI training as a service, FSD licensing, robo-taxis. And if you guys didn't catch it, this was a very short clip from a segment. Dan has increased his price target to $350 per share and is now on the record. He believes that Tesla will reach a $1 trillion market capitalization in 2024, despite Elon bad. Fascinating. Meanwhile, the contraindicator of contraindicators, Jim Cramer, has said that he believes that Tesla stock won't do well in 2024. Yes, we know what that means. P.S. Bear Stearns is fine and don't buy Tesla stock, you wouldn't even want to rent it, said at their IPO.
With the exception of Tesla, which I believe will struggle next year as the bloom is off the electric rose.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. The bloom is off the electric rose. I think what Jim is insinuating is that there's a huge slowdown in EV demand. It's not happening as fast as people thought, which is, spoiler alert, way slower than it's actually going to happen. And of course, Jim has a track record of nailing it because he only shares opinions on things he's really done some thinking about, as opposed to a scattergun approach where he literally has an opinion on everything. Right? Oh, no, the opposite is true. So, yeah, I just thought I'd point that out because Jim Cramer's on CNBS, so you can trust him. Now, in fairness, nobody knows what will actually happen with Tesla stock at any point in time. But from a performance point of view for the company, I think 2024 is going to be quite the year. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.